The desires of one man's heart, when I say man and woman, the desires of one man's heart, how important is the desires of one man's heart? How important is the desires of my heart? We may say, oh, very important. God will give us the desires of our heart. He's God. The dude can really take care of a lot of stuff, I mean, it's not gonna hurt him to grant me the desires of my heart, I just have some desires and they're really good. Even desires of helping a town, helping a city, helping the homeless, helping the poor, and helping the economy, and the desire that for me to have a really good yard and the way that my house, I like it to be, even my storage, tool shed, and those are all good desires, to be organized, to have a good car, and all these things. I'm from Middle East, I always desire to have a fruit orchard, even a couple of trees, and then we live in North Carolina, and it took years, but I got some fruit trees, and that was the desires of my heart, and there's nothing wrong. But when I look back, normally we spend a lot of time getting the desires of our hearts, even with the help of the Lord, with the blessings of God. We spend a lot of time and we spend our life on fulfilling the desires of our heart. And you look at it, you say there's nothing wrong. Yeah, that's good. That's even godly and wonderful and beautiful. But I've been pondering since this morning. I was looking at the different patches of grass in our yard, and the places that I really want some grass, the places that they look kind of trashy, and I wanted to really make it look good. And you look at around you, even the place that you live, you say, God, I love you. This is the desires of my heart. I'm not asking so much. I'm asking that you bless me even more to take care of the things of my life, And some may say, hey, dude, go work more. That's not the point here. Even for people that they work so hard and they're so smart, and then they make so much, and then they fulfill the desires of our heart. I'm talking about them too. Even if you get there and you're doing it and the desires of your heart are fulfilled, toward the end of our life, this is someone like me, I think this way. Toward the end of my life, or at the end of my life, if I could just have 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, a month, 1 week, 1 day, to think and ponder, what did I spend my life on? Then the answer is the desires of your heart, and you did it in a godly way, and you help other people. Okay, let's just name what I did. Then you could just name, or you could imagine all the things that we have done, great things. Okay, that is wonderful. Someone like me looks at it in a different perspective, and it also came to me this morning. The desires of my heart, perhaps Kamran, is to have fruit orchard, to have a beautiful yard, to have a house that is very hospitable, and people could come in, however amount of people that they can come and we could serve, that there would always be hospitality, there would always be food, and we would do our ministry to people, loving people. I always had a heart also for the city we live in. We did something called Chocolate Church. I have desires for the cities, and, it's wonderful. But what I realized this morning is, this is the point. The desires of God's heart are way bigger than the desires of one man's heart. God's desire, it's way, way, way higher, because it's not only for one man, or just a city or even one nation. The desires of Father's heart, it's for the whole earth and all the living creatures and all the humans. That's the desires of Father's heart. Sometimes He doesn't allow us to get so busy fulfilling our own desires, even our own desires to help a group of people, because His desires, it's for more people. And if He invests only in certain desires of our heart, because I'm a man, I'm a human, my desires are not that large. Bible said, my ways are higher than your ways. The desires of Father's heart is way higher. Sometimes I get angry that why God you didn't help me. This wouldn't help you. You could help me to do this, to do that. We had chocolate church here. Why don't you give me a building to, cook for people and bring the homeless? The reason is He has something bigger, not only for my life, but for other people's lives too. That's why He doesn't allow me to get involved in fulfillment of some of even the good desires of my heart, or so-called godly desires. Because the Father's desires, the desires of Holy Spirit, the desires of Jesus Christ, the desires of love, it's way bigger than my personal desires, even for a whole nation. His desire. Then, that doesn't say that He's not going to give me the desires of my heart. He will. But I'm going to submit to desires of God's heart, not my own anymore. Because I know that if I only submit to the fulfillment of desires of my heart, then it's so small. But if I submit to fulfill and trust the desires of God's heart, then that is way bigger, and the desires of my heart is in it too. See, in that sense, I'm at the point I kind of always been, but now I'm even more at the point that, Father, I don't just want to know your will for my life. I want to know your will in for all people. Not that He's going to come and show me, but what I'm saying is I care about Father's will. Period. Not only for me, but period. I care about His will. And I would love to spend the rest of my life, earthly life on earth, to fulfill the desires of Father's heart. Okay, period. Let me tell you something here. One time I thought, I'm so smart, I'm going to ask the Lord something. I said, Father, what is the desires of your heart? And I was like this child. Just imagine a 5-year-old comes. Instead of always asking, give me. They're like daddy or mommy or uncle or whatever, cousin, like as a 5-year-old looking up at a perhaps 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 50-year-old, 70-year-old, and say, what would you like me to do for you? You're like, what? That's what I did to the Lord. I said, Father, what is the desires of your heart? You know what He said? He said, you are. May you be fulfilled.